survey from the one I sent, and I went through it, and it was really cool. So I'll be modifying some things from our previous workshop to ensure that we have a good result from this one. Now, one of the things I've noticed about goal settings is that the problem has not really been about setting goals. It has always been about achieving it, monitoring it, going over it. Most people at the point of setting the goals, they do a little bit of good job. But when it comes to let's get the goal done, that is where the fatigue starts setting in. After 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, we start jettisoning the whole thing, like, okay, are we sure we can do this? Let's leave it, let's let it go and all. So I think that is one of the major challenge, and I would do a lot to try to dwell on that much. But one thing I want us to start with is, first, I just want us to understand that um, your failure to achieve a goal is 80% on how you plan the goal. It's not really the execution, it's the planning. If you fail in planning, you definitely will fail in execution. Most times we think that, procrastination, I just did not have the energy to pursue the goal. I just got tired of it. I didn't have the resources. Different things can come up that we can think is the problem. But the real problem is actually the planning, the setting, the goal setting itself. If we did a good job in setting up the goals, we will do a good job in achieving it and executing it. So the problem actually starts from the goal setting itself. So I'll be going through some things for us to view, and I'll be sharing my slide, and we would be starting. Okay. First of all, again, like I said, I really appreciate us tuning in and all, and you're up for a lot. A lot of things is going to be popping up this evening. A lot of eye opener, a lot of great stuff will be happening to us because of this training. I am telling you, and I know this. Let me just give you a rundown on how I got to this point. I started. I am someone that normally has these big dreams. I normally want to do big things right from when I was small. You know, if let me give you one that might sound funny. When I was very young, I was in JS1. I had a dream to build an aeroplane company in Nigeria, company that is designing and manufacturing aeroplane. I did not say car, I did not say bicycle, aeroplane, and that was in JS1. So I started making aeroplanes with roofing sheets and all those stuff. I will put propeller on it. It will be turning. Sometimes it will not. It will just be vibrating. The thing will not fly. So I've been someone that normally think all these type of things. And you know where the aeroplane company will be? It will be in Eden or Ede Osun State. Okay, well, it sounds funny for me then that time, but now it's funny. But then it was not. I was very very serious about it. So I've been someone that always dream very big. I have these big ideas of a lot of things. But the problem I've always had is that I always end up not doing much, not achieving much. I had a lot of challenges achieving things, but my head was still very big. Something then happened. I stumbled on people like Sam Adeyemi, Brian Tracy, John C. Maxwell, and Miles Monroe. And when I was studying these guys, I noticed something. I don't know how I got attracted to them really, really, really then, at least 2012, 2010. I think from 2011, 2010 downward, that was when I started following people like Samade Emi and started hearing them teach and all. They are very big on success, on goal settings, on all these things. And I noticed that when they talk about it, they talk about plans, they talk about goals and everything. So I was not thinking, how do these guys do it? How do they set these things? So I decided to start following them more closely. And along the line, I learned, especially from Brian Tracy, how to set goals, structure goals. He started talking about smart goals, many things. So after studying them for a while, I decided to try it. So I started by setting my first goal. I think the first one I did was around 2018 or something like that. The one I flopped woefully. I tried again. I learned, read again, read books, watched some of their videos. I tried again. It's still, it was around 2020 that I started mastering this thing. I noticed that it was working. When I set the goals, as I started having jotters, I think the first comprehensive goal I did was in 2020. I had a jotter, a dedicated jotter to it, and I did it, follow it up. And I noticed that I achieved in 1 year what I struggled to achieve in 3 years. It was so massive. I did it in 2021. It was almost like that. as if it was a magic. So I started discussing this with my friends. By the way, I have good friend base. I have wonderful friends. I must say, wonderful friends. So I was speaking with them. We discussed on these things. Okay, let us try it on stuff, on other things, and they also started practicing it. We were learning it together. We were working. They were bringing input to, okay, we can adjust this, we can do this, and we started working on it. We noticed that it was working. So I think I also passed it on to the teens church then when I was in Christ Apostolic Church, and it also worked. From there, I had, oh, I think this is something that has a theory. Let's see how we can teach it. So our first goal setting workshop was in 2022. Then it was physical. That was when I taught them how to do these things, how to set these goals and all. And many of them that followed through actually had testimonies. We did it again in 2023. The testimony was there and so on. And then we have a pattern or a system. So that is what I want to discuss with us today. It is not just something that was read from books or learned from one people or one theory from one place or the other. It's actually something that has been tested and proven to be true. And that is what we want to be discussed. So we are discussing our goal setting. Let me just share my screen so that we can kick off. I just wanted to give us that background so that we understand what we are up for. It's not something that is still on a theory stage or is still under practice. It's something we have tested and has proven to be true without any reasonable doubt. So this is a law, actually. Is a law. So we want to discuss goal settings. In this edition, we'll be focusing so much on the structures and systems. Those are what we'll be focusing more on. We'll be focusing more on structures and systems. So why I decided to modify to focus on this area is because of the review I got. So when I checked the preview rather to the training, I checked the previews, I saw some of our challenges, and I was able to understand, okay, this is where we might be having issue. And by the way, last year wasn't as good as the last 3 years for me. Is another eye opener, something that was very, very discouraging but funny. But I'm going to be sharing with us some of the lessons I learned from it and what I eventually found was the problem I had last year. So I will share it with us. And by the way, that was what I wanted to cancel this training, but it did not successfully. Okay. Don't mind me the way I talk. I don't know how to be very serious, but as long as you can get the message, that is the most important thing for me. Right. So before we start, I want to tell us something about these goal settings. I read about this thing in a documentary about maybe 2 years ago. They carried out a research in this University of California. They carried out the research. In that research, they brought graduates, people that were leaving school, and as they were leaving a particular class, a graduating set, and they asked them, "What do you want to achieve in the next 5 years?" So all of them spoke. I want to achieve this. I want to achieve that. I want to be this. I want to be that. Interesting. So this doctor then picked a number of them, about half of that class, and asked them, "Can you write this goal down? And these things you say you want to achieve, write it down." So half just said it. The other half, he asked them to write it down so that they can be monitoring it. So he just allowed them to do it. So after 5 years, the doctor went back to check these guys. After 5 years, they reached out on them. It was a theory. They never knew that they were under what's it called? They were lab rats in quotes. So after that, they noticed something, and that was that after the training, this was the result they got. Those that just set their goal, that is what we call mental goal, they did not write it down. 43 of them achieved that goal because they had it in their mind. Those ones that wrote it down, 76% of them achieved the goal. Now, watch this difference about these people. Watch the difference. 43 that just thought about it, this is what I want to be. They had it in mind. They did not put it down. 43% of them achieved it. 76 that wrote it down achieved this. So we can see that goal is more effective when you can write it down. And that is why even the Bible will tell you that write the vision down, make it plain on tablets. You know what they call tablets then was, okay, now we use tablets now, right? He said write it plain, let it be clear. So it is when it's clear that is actually a goal. So what we want to do is not just about setting anyhow goals. We want to set goals that are clear, that you can see. We are going to be writing them down. And I'm going to be trying to be a little bit fast. I don't know how fast God can help us to go, but I will try. So what we are going to be discussing, this is the content of what we are discussing. We'll be discussing, We're talking about a little bit on the definition. We'll be talking about the importance of goal settings. This part one, I'm going to be very fast on it. Then we are going to spend more time on the part two part of this training, so or workshop. So the first part is definition. It's more of the discussion around it, definition, importance of goal settings, why people don't set goals, why goals fails. Then we are going to the part two part. We are going to be talking about goal setting structures. This is very important in this training. The goal setting structure, the goal setting roadmap, the goal monitoring systems. Then we are going to do demonstrations and have assignments. We are going to have demonstration as, let's see, as the time can carry us. Hopefully we can finish most of this before we wrap up for today. So these are what we are going to be looking at today and in the course of the training, and I'm telling you, it's going to be interesting. If you are having any question as we are going, just be writing them down. I hope we are here with our notes and our pen. If you don't have your note and your pen, I want to give you a chance. 1 minute, go and get it and get ready with your note and your pen, please. I'm going to give us 1 minute. Our time starts now. Please go and get it. This is very important. You will not make any meaning of this workshop if you cannot write it down. I am telling you the truth. Even if I'm sending this slide to you, I am asking you to write it down. Remember, I'm your teacher, so please obey instruction. You have 1 minute. Go and get your pen and your book. Please, I will be waiting for you for 1 minute. It is very important. Get your pen and your book. Please, let's run quickly and get a jotter. I advise us to get fresh dot jotters, like a very new one. That is how it works for me actually. But if you want to use an old one, fine. But I like new ones. There's a mental effect of that new ones in my head. You have 40 seconds more. Please, let's be fast. Get your book, get a pen, so that we don't waste our time so much. Get your book and your pen quickly, so that we can continue. If you don't get the writing material, I don't assume you a part of this training. No, I don't think you can make anything out of it. I am telling you the truth. You will not make anything out of it. Get something that you will write with. 20 seconds. Ten seconds more. All right. I think we should have it now. We should have it now. You have your pen and your, I wanted to say your pen and your biro, your pen and your jotter. So now let's proceed with what we are having. So we want to start by defining what are goals. What are goals? What are goals? You know, this is one of the first error a lot of people make. I have seen this several times with my experience in this training. I have seen this as one of the first error. Some people don't even know what goals is. They don't know what goals is. So if you don't even know what goals is, you don't even know what you are doing. Some people think goal is a New Year resolution. I will not do this again. I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to be doing this. I will not do this. Those are not goals. Those are wishes. They are resolutions. Resolutions are not goals. They are things that make something a goal. There are things that are very important to classify anything as a goal. Goals are not ideas. You are thinking of something. I want to do this. I think it's a good thing. I'm going to get this. I'm going to work on this. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to get this. I'm going to. Those are ideas. You are thinking. You are not actually having any goals. Goals are not wishes. Oh, I wish I can go to school this year. I wish I can make 1 million naira monthly. I wish I can. Those are not goals. Those are wishes. Goals are not just things you want to achieve. Even I want to do this, it's still not a goal. It's still not a goal. I want to build this. I want to do that. You know, many of us when we were young, I want to be a pilot. I want to be a doctor. I remember when we went to one of these orphanage with one of my friends for his birthday. You know, we were then asking those children, okay, what do you want to achieve? I want to be a doctor. It's so interesting. I was actually loving it, and I see the sincerity and the desire in their heart. But those things are not goals. They are just wishes, things you want to achieve. So what are goals? Goal is a desired outcome you are taking conscious and intentional actions to achieve. There are very complex definition of goals, but this is my own definition. The definition I pick, for me, it is very simple, straight to the point, and it has the factors I want or the factors I consider. Goal is a desired outcome. That is the first thing. Number one is something you desire. You have to desire it. If you don't desire it, it cannot even start by this. It's something you so much desire. And when we talk about desire, desire is not a wish. Desire is not a want. Desire is something you want. Something you want, you need, whether it's a need or a want, but something deep inside that you want. So that is what we call desire. It's a desire outcome. That is a result. Something you desire to see or have or become, and you are taking conscious effort. The word there is conscious for the sake of maybe the younger ones, because I check the age brackets to understand the audience I am having. So that's why I simplify some of these definitions. We have some teenagers among us, we have some youths, and so on. So I'm trying to watch the grammars and the English so that these things will be very clear. So what I mean is that taking conscious, what I mean by conscious is intentional. What I mean by intentional is knowing action, action you knew and took, or you take knowingly. That is what we call conscious action. You know, there's something called reflex action. Reflex action are those actions you do unknowingly. Example, if somebody chook you needle, you will just shout yay. So the yay is not a conscious yay, it's a reflex yay. But if somebody tell you in the next 1 minute, just shout yay, you hear the person say yes, and when the person hear shout, you now shout yay. The difference is that the first one is reflex, unconscious. The second one is conscious effort. So what I mean by taking conscious effort is taking an action. Is like, I will take this action and you took it. That is what we call conscious action. Action that you took, you know you will take it, and you took it because you have desired or you have made up your mind to take it. So that is what I'm saying. Taking conscious and intentional. Now, what is the word intentional? Intentional is something you are concerned about, something you want, you do because you want to do. You know, there's some people that go to church because their mommy said they should go to church. There's some people that go to school because it is compulsory to go to school. Now, when we talk about intentional, you go because you have an intent. The word is intent. There is a reason. You get, there's a reason. That is that word, intent. Intentional actions to achieve it. Let me define it again. A goal is a desired outcome. That is something you want, and you are taking a conscious and intentional action to achieve it. That means you are doing something willingly, by all your energy, by all your efforts. You are making an effort, a conscious, deliberate, intentional effort to achieve it. So if this is what you are doing, then you have a goal. Then you can say you have a goal. When you have a desired outcome and you are working to achieve it, you are doing something hard to achieve it, then they can say this guy has a goal. He has a goal. Now, not all goals are good goals, you understand, but at least you have a goal. Now, what is goal setting? Goal setting is a process of determining your goals correctly. This is why I'm taking time to define it. I want to run, but I don't know why. I don't know. I'm not actually rushing. Is the process of determining your goals correctly and setting the right action plans to achieve them. Goal setting. We've defined goal. Now we are defining goal setting. Goal setting is the process of determining your goals correctly. That means goal setting also involves determining the goal. Some goals you might have it as an idea, but when you start turning that idea to goal, you might eventually find out that it's not a good goal, it's not a correct goal, it's not an achievable. Different things can happen, then you can discard it, but it's an idea. So not all ideas is transformed to goal when you start a goal setting. So it is goal setting that tells you this goal is correct, or this goal is good, or this goal is right. Then you now start setting the word there, right is what I want us to see. Right action plans. That means you can have a goal without a good goal setting process. That is what I want us to get from this definition. You can have a good goal and your goal setting process is wrong. So goal setting is actually getting the right goal and setting the right plan to achieve that goal. Goal setting is having the right goal and setting the right plan to achieve that goal. Again, goal setting is having the right goal and setting the right plans to achieve that goals. And this includes follow-up anyways. Now, why is goal setting important? Why is goal setting important? I know most of us knows that it's important. That is why we are in this training. But just for the sake of the training and for one or two persons that might still be confused, why are we in this training? What is important? What is goal setting? Some people might just enter out of curiosity, or somebody compel you to join and you are here. So let's just do this for that sake of that person. Number one, success in life is about setting goals. Every other thing is complementary of goal setting. Let me explain what I mean. I want to go to school. You go. Whether you set the goal very well or you don't set the goal, but you took a step, you took an action. Everything you achieve or in life is a goal that was achieved. You got married, it was a goal. Whether it was properly executed, poorly executed, accidental, whatever, you shall had an emergency goal. So everything in life, the only thing is that big things require more conscious goal to achieve them. You can achieve small things with small goals. Example now, you can say I want to eat biscuit because you have 5 naira, you can easily source it out, and you, of course you have set a goal, you have taken action, so you are achieving it. And note, goals is not necessarily have to be written, but writing a goal makes it more powerful. So that is what I'm trying to explain now. It can be a conscious thing. So everything in life is about goal settings. Everything, every other thing is complementary. Everything, your intention of joining this training is a goal setting anyways, because you saw the training and you decided I will join the training, and you went ahead to register, and you went ahead to join the group, and you went ahead to click on the link, and you came here. So you have achieved the goal of attending this training. Now what you do with the training is another thing actually, but you achieve that goal. So everything in life is about goal setting. I want to go to Lagos is a goal. I want to eat is a goal. So life is about goal setting and goal achieving. So if this is not important, then you need to know how to set goals. If everything in life is about goals, then goal setting is very, very important. Very, very important. Very, very important. Now, another thing I'm trying to say is that every successful person in life was just average, like us, until they found purpose. It is purpose that helps you set goals. It's when you have a purpose that you have a goal. And when you have a goal, that is when life becomes more important for you. Every other person that is living, if you see people that live life without a goal, they are mostly people without purpose. You can do your research. I'm giving you free. Take that one for me for free. People that don't have goal do not even know their purpose, or that they are not ready to follow a purpose. If you have a purpose, you have a goal. If God has told you, for example, that you are going to be the next president of Nigeria, you have to start setting goals, how to join a political party, how to do this, how to do that, things like that. So everything is about goals. If you want to be an engineer, you have to set goals. If you want to be a pilot, you have to start working on goals. So it's very important. Another thing is that goal setting is probably the most important skill you can gain. I'm talking this one from experience. I have people that I taught this skill many years ago, like about 4 years ago, that we don't really talk like we used to talk. But anytime we discuss, one of the things they normally thank me for is this thing. They will always say how their life changed during this process, a lot of things. So it is more important than a university degree, because if you don't even have a goal, you will go to university and you will not graduate. If you don't know how to set goals very well. So I'm not saying university degree is not important. It's very important, and that is why I'm comparing them, because university degree is very important. So don't get me wrong. It is more important than your university degree. Take that one for free. So that is it. Now, why most people don't set goals? You see how important goals is, but yet some people don't set goals. I was reading about Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn said 97% of people in this world don't have goals for their life. They don't have goals. They just, what I mean by, I'm talking about conscious goals. They are just living life as it pleases, as it comes. I know some of us might fall into that kind of category here. He said 97% of them. So if you are here, you are actually moving yourself from 97 to about 3%. That means, if funny enough is that, like the last training we had, after the training, I asked some people, okay, set your goals. I'm going to help you review them for free, for free, for free. Man, yet out of about 40 people that attended the training, or 30 something, almost 40, at least the day one, we were almost like 30 something, because that one we had a lot of time to publicize the training and a lot of stuff and all. So we had about 30 something people. Out of that numbers, it was just about less than 10 that went ahead to set that goals and sent it to me. I am telling you the truth, less than 10. And when we were doing the first review, the number dropped to 5 or 6 out of 30 something people. So you see what I'm saying, and some people here will still fall under that category, I am very sure. And that is why, if you see, when I was writing about the second stage, I said I'm going to be giving 20 minutes to people that will to review your goals. The reason I put that 20 minutes is because I know all the people that attend is not the people that will come. So I know that they will be like 10, 8, so I can spare that time. If I was sure that everybody will join, I cannot put 20 minutes. Maybe I will say 5 minutes. But I know that most people will just attend this training. After the training, they will go to their house and their life continue the way it is. The only difference is that there will be a subconscious support. You will not exactly be the same way you are, but you will not be how I want you to be. Because you have heard it, there's how your mind will still be helping you slowly, but you still will not achieve the kind of success. So that is just the truth. A lot of people don't set goals. Why? That is what we want to discuss. First is fear of failure. Most people are afraid that if I set goals, I will fail. I have met several persons, even older people, that told me, that I've taken this training with elder people that they will say when anytime they set goals, that is the time they used to fail. I don't know if somebody is among us that has this experience. Is anytime I now set, I say, okay, I want to set goal for my life. Is that time I will now fail more. But if I don't set goals like this, I will achieve at least some success. Let me tell you what happens. It's your mind that is playing tricks on you. How did you rate the success you had when you did not have goals? That is what you don't know. How did you rate it? Now you have goals, you have a yardstick. There's nothing like failure. Failure is when you refuse to try again. As long as you keep trying, you have not failed. So some people have the fear of failure. That is it. Many people are just afraid of what will happen if they fail and criticism. Oh, people will laugh at me. Oh, you said this, you did this, and oh. Now, one of the antidotes for this is that you might decide not to tell plenty people about your goals. Just tell one accountability partner or one person. You don't need to tell 1,000 people. You get, so that you don't have this issue. The next one is laziness and lack of hunger. Laziness is another one. Lack of hunger is another one. Most people don't have hunger for success. If you don't have hunger for success, there is nothing anybody can do for you. There is nothing anybody, me self, cannot help you if you don't have the desire to be successful. That hunger is more than important. If you are not hungry, if you are not hungry for success, kai, forget it. Everybody else is wasting their time with you. You get, so you cannot help somebody that is not willing. So you have to have the hunger and you have to fight off laziness. So that is just another one. They know it's not cheap. Yes, goal setting is not cheap. Once you set goals for your life, you are under pressure. You are under pressure. So some people don't want to come under that pressure. That's why they feel that I don't need to set goals. Some knows that to achieve the goal, you have to pay some price, and they don't want to pay that price, so they don't even bother setting the goals. You get. So the last one is that some people don't know how. This is a small percentage of people. They don't know how to set goals, and that is why we are in this workshop. So we are going to be teaching the how. So I just want us to do something. Evaluate yourself. I want you to see where you are in these things. Which one is you? Is it the fear of failure? Is it laziness or lack of hunger that is your own problem? Is it that you know it's not cheap, that is your own challenge, or you don't know how to? Just think about it. Which one is your own? Now write it under your notebook. Whichever one you fall into, I want you to write it on your notebook. Which category did you fall into? Write it on your notebook. I just want you to write. That's another reason why. I hope you are taking note as I'm teaching. Please just be taking note of everything. So I want somebody to just tell me if you are hearing me loud and clear. Just 1 second before we continue. Just unmute, say I can hear you, and let's continue.
I can hear you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Right. So now we are going.
I can hear you.
Thank you. I appreciate. Now let's go to the next part. Now, wholesome goals. This is another important part of goal setting that a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know. If your goal is not balanced, you cannot achieve your goal. One of the preview I got, somebody was mentioning about the person said that they were not able, he or she, I don't want to mention gender, but he or she said that he or okay, let me just say he, but it might be a she or a he, just don't get it. So he was saying that he could not achieve much of his goals. He said he tried, especially his spiritual life, that there was like a zero. I was not smiling. Do you know why I was smiling? If you fail in that area, you will almost fail in everything. If you fail in that area, you will fail in almost everything. Almost everything. So that is why there is a need for balance in goal. There is a need for balance. A failure in one area can lead, or most times will lead to failure in another area. Example, if you have a failure in mental and personal goals. When I mean mental goal, if you fail in mental goal, you can fail in financial, you can fail in relationship, you can fail in education. If you fail in health, you can fail in every other area. If you fail in relationship and family, it's like a ladder leaning on the wrong wall. You can fail in any other thing. If you fail in finance, you might not be able to fund education. I don't know if somebody is getting what I'm saying. Everything is linked. This is a balanced system. So your goal must be balanced. If your goal is not balanced, you will not achieve tremendous success. So that is why I decided to put this. Now, this is my term for a balanced goal. And this comes from Miles Monroe definition. He said prosperity is being spiritually sound, mentally strong, physically healthy, financially stable, and socially satisfied. That is how Dr. Miles Monroe of blessed memory defined prosperity. So when I got this knowledge from this man, he's one of my role models, I decided that okay, if this is the true meaning of prosperity, then I have to have a balanced life that covers all these areas. All these areas. all these areas. A balanced life that covers all these areas. Very important. Very important. So for a balanced goal, you must have a spiritual goal. For me, spiritual goal is one of the most important goal. One of the effects that I had last year was basically around spiritual goal. I was pursuing finance and business, and some other stuff. I now added relationship to my life, like my life goals and everything. I was starting another business again to add to my business goal, and then it was dragging my time with my spiritual life. It was dragging time, so I was not smart. Now let me just say this. I will say this because I might forget. This is one of the things I want us to get from my own lesson of last year. When there is a call for priorities, when you are having this shake in your goals, you are having this shake, one side is dragging with another side, one side is competing with another side, it is very important you pick your priorities very quick. Very quick, pick your priorities. And these priorities, you don't decide it in the storm, you decide it before the wahala comes. That means when you are setting your goals, you have to prioritize it. Me, I did a bit of priority here, but this priority might not be your own priority, but I will advise you to put number one and number two as your priority, right? Then you can also do all those ones. This some people might swap 3 and 4, right? Some people will bring 6 to 3, depending on your some people will take 5 to 3. You get? Now, for real priority as a balanced man, this is where I think priority, this is my own idea, but please pick your own, but you can reason with me. I think spiritual is number one. I think health is number two. I think mental is number three. I think relationship is number four. I think then the other ones, you can pick which of them will come 5 and 6. Between education and finance, pick which of them will come 5 and 6. But this is my own order, the order we advise. Number one, spiritual goal. Number two, health goal. Number three, mental goal. Number four, relationship goal. Number five, me, I will pick business and finance. Then maybe education and career. But you can swap your own, especially in your focus. Somebody in his teenage age that is still in school, we have to pick education and career before finance and business. So that is just my idea. But you must have a balanced goal. I said I want to be fast. I am really, really very fast. So reason why goal fails. Reason why goal fails. Reason why goal fails. Reason why goal fails. Very interesting. Now I summarize this. I will expand it as we continue in this workshop. But I just summarize it, picking some few things. There are many reasons, but I just want to pick the chief of them. Number one is poor goal structure. I'm going to be explaining this. Poor goal structure. Poor goal structure encapsulates every other things around goal settings. What I'm trying to say by poor goal structure is that the goals were not set very well. This is the major reason why goal fails. Another reason is lack of motivation and refusal to pay the price. You have to pay the price. Some people, their relationship is having issues because they cannot make time to spend time on relationship. Some people, their spiritual life is having issue because they cannot pay the price and fast and sit and wait on God. Some people, their businesses is having issue because they don't have the time to sit. They are outsourcing what they should do. This one hits me a little. They are outsourcing what they should do. You get? This is one of the reasons why their business have issues. I don't know if somebody in this thing can bear me witness. There's sometimes you know exactly what your problem is, especially in your business. You can tell, but you don't just have that time or that, I don't know, mental calmness to just go and solve the problem. You just be assuming I can give this person to do it, I can assign it to this person. You know the problem. Some of us in our academics, we know that this course, if I don't read it, I will fail. I have to read at least these 4 you know the chapters you are supposed to read, but go and read it, sir. You will not go. You are giving excuses. So this is what I'm talking about. These things happen to everybody, and I'm sure some of us can already relate. Now, lack of actionable steps or milestones is another reason why goal fails. Some people pick goals in their chunks. I want to go to university. So your focus is in I want to go to university. You have forgotten that there is WAEC, there is JAM, there is post-JAM, there is screening, all those things. Break this thing down. Some people, I want to make 2 million naira. From where to where? You've forgotten that there should be a step. you get easily drained, you get easily discouraged, you get battered, and you give up on that goals. So you have to break your goals into actionable steps. Now, another one which is also equally important as the first one is lack of monitoring system. Lack of monitoring system. Lack of monitoring system. Now, let me just give you a tip on how I do my own monitoring system. I am actually saying some of all these things I'm saying because I might forget, and I don't want to forget. As they are coming to my mind, I'm just adding it up to what I'm doing. I am privileged that I was born in July. So July is actually half of the year, like the beginning of the second half of the year. So in my life, whether I like it or not, I am forced to review my goals at the middle of the year, and that has been one of the help I have had. So in January now, I'm setting goals. I might struggle, follow. Maybe reach April, which is supposed to be quarterly, monthly, and all. I will explain some of all these things for you on those reviews, and you have to follow them strictly. But I'm just saying on the bad side, on the worst side of me now. That's what I'm explaining. If I fail to review it, sometimes mentally you will still be pursuing the goal, but you are not active again. You are just pursuing it. When it now reach that June just end, my birthday start coming. I will start thinking, hey, how many years am I now? I will now remember that I'm now an old man. Kai, I am growing old. What have I even achieved in this life? I will now be looking. I'll say, hey, what did I even say I want to achieve this year? I will now go on another retreat because of that birthday. So I might, after then, I might get fired up again, start behaving like somebody that they put fire on his head. Then if you start getting to November, the fire might start cooling down again. Then December I will go high. New year, I am arose again to start something else. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that is the best, it's the worst way to live. But I'm just saying at my worst, this is how it is. So you can set actionable time. I'm just mentioning this. I'll still mention it when we are talking about that monitoring system. But you have to set actionable time, such as birthdays. Those of you that are lucky your birthdays, some of you that your birthday is January, sorry. Well, you can set birthdays. You can pick another date. You can pick anniversary, pick something else, anything that works for you. You can pick that and put it. But you have to be intentional about monthly, quarterly, evaluations. I'm going to talk on that, don't worry. So our job today is to solve these problems, like I mentioned, so we can start crushing our goals. Now the two goal setting structures, the two goal setting structures, or the two structures for goal settings, the two structures of goal settings. Okay. Right. Now, before we go into this goal setting, there's something I want to discuss. Is goal setting roadmap. That is actually what we want to discuss. But before that, we will first discuss these two goal setting structures. These structures for goal setting. What I mean by structures are the things that holds a goal and makes the goal firm. So these are fixed structures. They are fixed structures that holds a goal or makes the goal stand. The difference between structure and system is that structure are something that holds things firm. System are things that runs it, that process it. So why structure holds something strong, system runs it or process it. So we are talking about the structures and the systems, and that is what I want us to actually look at. So before we go into that roadmap, we have to discuss this structure. Now, this structure might not be new, some of them, but they are as important as they have always been. Number one is the SMART structure. We are going to be talking about two structures. There are two different structures I want to talk about. The first one is the SMART structure. The SMART structure. Now, let me explain this SMART structure before I tell you how you can use them. Or maybe in between, I'll be explaining it like that. Now, this thing is something some of you know, but you don't practice. It's something some of you have an idea with, but you don't really, well, let's get to it. Now, the first one is S. S is specific. What I'm trying to say is that when you want to set a goal, you bring your goal. I'm going to show you how to use this, but don't worry, just follow me. When you have a goal now, you set goal. I want to buy a car. What you need to do now is to pass the goal through S. Is the goal specific? I want to buy a car. Is it a specific goal? It is not, to be honest with you. Why? There are different kind of cars. There's SUV, there's sedan, there's utility vehicles, there's Hummer bus, there's even luxurious bus. So what kind of car do you want to buy? Okay, you will narrow it down. I want to buy a sedan car. Which type of sedan car? Is it Honda, Toyota, this and that, that and that? I want to buy a Honda, maybe a Honda or a Corolla. That is still fine. A Honda or a Toyota or something. Maybe a class is still okay. Now, when you pick the class, is it a brand new car or a Tokumbo car or a Nigerian used car or a Kabu Kabu car? You have to be specific and exact. That is how those things is. So you have to pass that goal through S. until that goal is specific. I am talking about structures now. You have to sieve the goal through S until that goal is specific enough. Now, after that, you have to pass the goal through M. M is measurable. Can you measure the goal? That means if it happens, how will you know that I have achieved 50%, I have achieved 70%, I am 90% achieving the goal? Example, now you want to buy a Toyota Corolla, maybe 2007 model, or you have the idea, maybe Corolla or Camry, something around 2007. So most times when you judge the car, you judge the car with money. Okay, the car will cost like 100 naira, right? So you say it's 100 naira that will buy the car. So you start saving towards the car. So because you know the amount range of the car, you can measure it. If you have 50 naira, you know that you are 50% close. If you have 70 naira, you know you are 70% close. If you now have the 100 naira, you know you are 100%, 99% close to the car. So you then pay the money and get the car. So it has to be measurable. You want to go to school, to the university, for example. It has to be specific. Which school do you want to go to? Is it university, polytechnic, college, university? Which kind of university? Federal or state? Or UN, United States, or Canada, or UK? You have to be specific. You get what I'm saying? You have to measure it. Okay, how do I know I'm succeeding? Okay, I must write JAM. If I get 260 in JAM, hey, I am close to that. If I write post JAM, oh, it must be measurable. So you pass it through M. Example A again is achievable. You have to be sure that this goal you are setting is something that can be achieved. What do we mean by achievable? Do you have the resources to achieve it? Do you have the strength to achieve it? Do you have the mental capacity to achieve it? Do you have the people to help you? Different things you have to think. I want to go to the university. Do you have JAM? No. Do you have WAEC? No. When do you want to go to university? Next year. You see that you will not go anywhere. Because before JAM result will come out, before they will start giving admission, it is probably 2027. So is it achievable? So what this does now, you have to put in everything you need to achieve it. You want to buy a land next year. Is it achievable? You have to check how much is the land. Land is maybe 10 million. Okay. How much am I earning? 1 million. Okay. If I want to buy the land, how much do I need to save? Maybe 500,000 every month. How many days it will take me? How many years? How many months? You have to check all those stuff and then confirm. Okay, am I expecting any contract that might add to it? Am I expecting anything that can make sense? So all these things, you must make it achievable. If your goal is not, this is where people burn out. This is where they burn out. Now, again, this is where one of my own problem came in last year. I started another business and because the business is a new business, it's not getting the needed profit and all, it's still struggling, money is there. So I'm trying to cut costs to ensure that it does not drain me with finance. So I'm putting a lot of energy. What I should use money to do, I'm using my energy to do and my time. So it is crashing with other things and it's making a lot of demand. So you have to check, is it achievable? Is it achievable? Especially time and human resources is one of the most important thing you have to consider to determine if a goal is what is achievable. Now the next thing is ARU. In other people, they normally put ARU as realistic, but me, I prefer relevant. I don't need realistic, I need it relevant. What do you mean by relevant? Is it important? Do you really need it? I want to buy a car. It's a goal, it's good, but you have to ask yourself, do I really need a car, or I just want to show off? You need to be sure of this. I'm talking about the structure for goal setting. Because if you fail at this car, when you buy that car, you will regret it. You will feel bad. You will hate yourself. That is the thing about this goal. I want to go to the university, and is it relevant? You must check. I want to do this. Is it relevant? You have to be sure. Another one is time bound. You have to have time to read. So these are the first structure. I call it the SMART structure that you have to pass your goal through to ensure that your goal. That means when you are setting up a goal, as you have listed your goal, everything, pass your goal through this. I am telling you how to set a structural goal. Pass your goal through this first one. This first one is the SMART structure. Now the second one is what I call the structural interrogation. After the SMART structure, the next one is the structural interrogation. You have to go, these are things I do, and by the grace of God, they are things I developed on my own most of the time. Especially this one I'm talking about now is something I developed personally along the line. I call it the structural interrogation. It's the next structure you have to pass your goal through. You have to pass your goal through to ensure that your goal is sound and is a good goal. So I call it the structural interrogation. Now, what is the first thing in that structural interrogation? Is the what. The what is clarity, the right objectives, whether you achieve your goals or not, or you don't. You have failed if you have the wrong objective. What I'm saying is that if you have the wrong objective, example now, um, you want to buy a car. Is the car actually the what? The truth is that the car is not the what. The what is why do you want to, is the car what you need the car for. So because you want to go to, maybe you are having transport issues, getting a bus and all those things might be what you want to solve. What problem do you want to solve exactly? That is what is the what. Clarity. I need a car. This is the car I need. I'm using car. I don't know, maybe I should use another example. Let's use money. At least 80% of us can relate with money. Let me say I need money. Money. You need money. Now, what do you need the money for? That is the question. What do you need the money for? That sometimes why this thing is important is that if you need money to buy phone, what you need is not money. What you need is actually phone. But some people will think the goal is money. The goal is not money. The goal is the phone. I hope you are understanding what I'm saying. So this word has to be clear. It's called clarity. You have to know. I need an amplifier. What do you need an amplifier? I want to be my voice to be loud. So what you really need is your voice to be loud. You might not, what I mean, like going back to the phone example, you don't need money, you need phone. What that means is that you might get somebody to dash you the phone and you necessarily might not buy the phone. You might not need money to buy the phone. You might decide to exchange something for the phone, a swap or something. So when you know the what, you know clarity and it will help you. The next one is the why, the motivation. This is very important, very, very important. The why. Why do you want to buy the car? I want to be a big man. I deserve a car. Why? I need a car now. Why? I don't have car. Why? Oh, sometimes there's something called the 5 whys. The 5 whys is an interrogative system. You ask yourself why down. Example, I need a phone. Why do you need a phone? I want to make a call. Why do you need to make a call? I have plenty of people I need to stay in communication with. Why do you need to stay in communication with these people? Oh, because these people are important to me. Why are they important? Because they are helping my life. Oh, from there you can say, okay, you truly need a phone. It's called the 5 whys. Sometimes you have to have the why 5 times. Like from the first answer, you ask another why. Please write that down. Write what I just said now, the 5 whys. When you ask the first why, when you get an answer, from that answer, ask the second why. When you get the answer, from the third answer, ask another why until you reach the 5. If the thing makes sense up to that 5, then we can say you have a good why. If it does not make sense up to that 5, then we have a bad why. So the why is very important. Okay, now the next one is the third one is the how. How is the process? I'm talking about goal structures now. The how is the process. So you need to understand how you want to achieve it. What process are we taking? You want to buy the phone. Will I save money to buy it? Because now you know that you can get the phone by swapping. You can get the phone by somebody buying for you. You can get the phone by saving for it. So now you have to decide, how do I want to get it? I need to call my uncle. Uncle, buy me phone. Instead of you saying, uncle, give me money, you can say, uncle, buy me phone. Instead of you to say, daddy, give me money, you can say, daddy, buy me phone. How do you want to get it? Work with your dad, or save money, or get a job, or something. The how has to be there. So when you pass it through the how do I want to achieve this goal? I'm talking about every goal has to pass this process. Now, the fourth one is the when. When is the deadline? When is the deadline? How do you start working on it? When do you start working on it? When do you want it to happen and all? This is very important. So some people has goals that they set. They don't even have. I think it was Papa Adeboye I was listening to. He said there's one of his brother used to say, I will buy house. I'm going to build a house. He said when they were small, I think it was house or something like that. That he always say this. He was saying it not too long ago. He said now I don't know whether he will do it tomorrow, but till today he has not done it. He still I will. So the best way to actually achieve a goal is to start. The best way to end is to start. You have to start first. I have done a lot of things that I never knew how it will end when I started. And because I started, you have to finish it. No, you get. Now, the most important thing is God. The most important thing is God. I'm talking about structural interrogation. Does this Now, I want to apologize for those that might not be faith-based. You understand? If you are an atheist or you don't believe in God, I am very sorry for you. But this one is very important. I am teaching you what I know. So I'm going to tell you what I know and what has worked for me. You get, you can decide to sieve it. Anyone that you don't like, you remove it from the teaching or anything. I want to apologize. Don't be offended. But what I'm telling you is what works. What has worked for me is what I'm teaching you. This God factor is very important. You have to check, does this thing glorify God? You need to be sure. Does this thing bring glory to God? You need to be sure. Does these things offend God? So you have to check. This is how God's factor helps human being. Oh, if God does not support a goal, then that goal you will sweat to achieve it. You will struggle to achieve it. But if it's a goal that aligns with God, then it's something you can achieve easily. I am telling you, this factor is very important, the God factor. So you have to pass it through this structural interrogation. You need to ask the question of what. Be sure you have a definite understanding of the goal. You have to ask the question of the why. Now, let me tell you something about, okay, I think it's on the next slide. Let me just go on the next slide and explain that part. On this why, I need to explain something on the why and the how more, on also that we understand it compellingly. Then the how is important. Break into process. Then the when, start. You have to put a start date and have an end date. Very, very important. Now, this is what I want to explain on the when. Remember, we are still talking about the goal setting structures. The structures for goal setting. That is what we are still talking. And we mentioned two structures. The first structure is the SMART structure. The second one is the structural interrogation. And we are still in the structural interrogation. I want to explain two parts of that structural interrogation, which is the why and the how. I want to explain it further just a little. Now, I wrote it as the compelling why. One of the best things that can happen to a goal, hi, I repeat again, one of the best things that can happen to a goal is the why. If you have a compelling why to your goal, you will. No, one of the reasons why people don't achieve a goal is that the goal is hard. Um, there's something I and my guys were doing. We started doing a while ago. You know, we go to a place called Lugbe Across to hold meetings every Sunday evening. Every Sunday evening. Now, let me explain the kind of people I'm talking about. We are guys that has jobs. We are guys that have businesses. We are guys that are very useful in our church. I mean, very important. I say this. We are very important in our church. Sometimes we can leave on Sunday from our church. We work, we have families. So the only time, in fact, some of us we are in school. So we go to school on Saturdays. So the only time we can have is Sundays. And we can leave church around 3. And we have to be going to that place called Lugbe Across. Nobody send us. Oh. Now go. We'll be going there by 4, sometimes 9 p.m., 10 p.m. before we come every Sunday. And do you know that sometimes when we come, we'll be very tired. Very tired. And before you know, I will just struggle to reach there. When I just reach, I don't see my other guy. He has shoe. Another person has shoe. Sometimes our face is looking like God. Why? But we are still there. Now, this is where I'm going. There is a reason why we go there. We know the why we are supposed to be there. That's why, depending on how difficult it is, we will pay the price and go. I am talking about the why. If you don't have a compelling why you should go to the university, I am telling you, you will not read your book. You will not read your book. It is when the why is convincing enough that you will be burning midnight candles. You'll be burning. Some people, the reason why they read their book is so that their mommy will not beat them or their daddy will not abuse them. It's a why, but it might not be a compelling why. Some people, the reason why they work is that so that we eat. If what you are working for is to eat, you will not achieve much because that's why is the only why. So your why matters. Why do I want to be successful? You set a goal that I want to make 2 million naira. Why do I want 2 million naira? If your why is very strong, you will pay the price and achieve it. Now, let me explain. I don't want to talk about the negatives, but if you see some people, let me not go there, don't worry. So the why will give you enough motivation to pay the price. Why I don't want to talk about that is because of young people, but I wanted to explain something initially, but I don't want you to have the wrong perception. But what I'm saying is that why will give you a motivation, and that motivation will be stronger than the price. So you can pay the price with the right why. So have a why to every of your goal. I want to make 2 million naira. You have to have a strong why behind it. I want to make 10,000 naira. You have to have a strong why behind it. I want to marry. Why? I want to go to school. Why? I want to get 250 in JAMB. Why? I want to be the best graduating student in my class. Why? You must have a why. Very important. Now, another one is milestones and actionable plans. Milestones and actionable plans. That is the second one on the how I was discussing. So I said I wanted to expand on the why and the how. So the how. Now, In goal settings, there are two major types of goals. People don't talk about this much, but I found out that there are two goals. The first one is the result goal. The second one is the process goal. I will explain it to us. If you have a goal to go to the university in 2027, I want to go to the University of Abuja 2027 and study medicine. I want to go to the University of Abuja in 2027 and study medicine. That is a result goal. Now, this result goal can be broken into 10. I mention a random 10, a random number, and I'm going to prove that you can enter that number. Now, to go to school, you have to start from the back. What do you need? You need school fees. You have to know the amount of the school fees. You need to know the amount of the acceptance fee you will pay. You need to know the JAMB score and you need to get the JAMB. You need to know the WAEC qualification and you need to get the WAEC qualification. Now, the school fees, you need to find that, the goal is to go to the University of Abuja and study medicine. Now, you have that goal. Under that goal, you now have school fees. The goal of maybe the school fees is 100,000. I need to get 100,000 naira. The acceptance fee is 120 is 20,000 naira. I need to get 20,000. You see, now you are now having goals under that goal. We can call it subset goals or subset goals. Now you're having acceptance fee. You are still having I must get 270 in JAMB. That is another goal. I must have distinction in 8 courses in WAEC. That is another goal. Now, inside these 4 you have listed, you withdraw another goal from it. To get A in my WAEC, I have to be able to read at least 5 hours every day. Are we together? I need to have to register for my JAMB and my WAEC, and you will need money to do it. You will need to go there. That is another goal. You will set again on that goal. Maybe to get that, to read 5 hours, you might say, I need a partner. That means you need to find a friend to read again. So from that goal of going to the university, you have drawn about 10 subset goals. Now, those set goals are what I call the process goals. So you will now align those process goals with step by step. This first, this first, this first. So each of that process will be taking you to the result. So this is where most people fail it. They are not able to analyze their process very well. It's just like this block I'm showing. Imagine this block is a bread. This is a loaf of bread. You now jack this bread and you want to eat everything, put it inside your mouth. You see that it will be very difficult to eat it. Or if it's cake, you want to eat everything, it will be very difficult. But when you break them into this, you can cut them and you start picking them one after the other, one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. Before you know, you have finished the cake. Before you know, you have finished it. So your goals, as big as it is, let it be a result goal. Then create process goals under those goals. Process goals, that's what I call stepwise goal. Me, I will say eating it small, small. You might not like the English, but I like the English. Eating them small, small. Eh? It's not tautology, it's deliberate. You have to start eating them small, 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 bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit, until you are able to achieve that process goal. Now, one of the things you will also notice, if you eventually did not achieve the process goal, the result goal, you would have achieved a number of that process goal. So that when you are coming back to that goal, you will not start from the beginning again. You would have achieved some things. You get. So this is one of the major things. Divide your goals into a better how. Break the how into process. Break the how into stepwise. Okay. Now, I want us to just take a break. Just 30 seconds. I want us to just ruminate over what we have been discussing so far. Just 30 seconds break. Then we'll continue. Or 1 minute, anyways. So I just want us to just go over what we have been discussing. Just think about everything. I wanted to play music for you people, but I changed my mind. So let's just go over it. I'm discussing something. I was discussing about the goals. What goal is? Go over your notes. Those of us that are reading the notes, just be reading the notes. Go over everything. We want to go to the roadmap now. So please just go over what I've been saying. All right, welcome back. Um, okay, let's let's continue. I don't know if anybody has a question so far. You want to mention something, one question, comment or question. I want somebody to just maybe two people to say before we continue. Comment, question. We are getting to the another part of this thing now. Very interesting part. Yeah. Any comment, question? Just one person can say something. Question or comment or contribution? Anyone? Just like 30 seconds. 30-second contribution, 30-second comment. Some don't waste our time. Let's hear from our audience. Let's talk now. Are we shy? I'm not seeing your voice, man. Are we there?
Yes.
Give us one comment or contribution or anything.
If your goal isn't pleasing to God, it's going to be very hard to attain.
Okay. Yeah, Nana, let's hear your own comments before we move on.
Huh?
I want to hear your comments. Or let's continue. Okay, let's continue. Time.
I've been going over. I don't know. My network been throwing.
Oh, Pele. Sorry. All right. We are talking about now. I mentioned goal structures of goal setting or goal setting structures, and I mentioned two structures. We want to implement that structures now, so we just learned it. We are going to be using. We learned about the SMART structure. The SMART structure. That means you must pass your goal through something we call SMART structure. Then also you must pass your goal through another thing we call the structure of interrogation or structural interrogation. And now we want to go into the goal setting roadmap. What I mean by goal setting roadmap is how goal setting can be done. Now, there are no fixed way to these things. Like I used to tell you, I'm just giving you a way that works very well, that has been proven to work over time, and that's what I want to show you. It's called the goal setting roadmap. Glory. So these are our goal setting roadmap. I'll be explaining them bit by bit. Now, the first thing is your perfect future. You know, goal is a future desire you want to achieve. So the first thing is that you have to allow your mind to build the perfect picture for you. Example, let's use two examples. One is I want to go, okay, I want to get A in chemistry 101. I want to get A in chemistry 101 or in chemistry. Let's say I want to get A in chemistry. The second example we are going to use is that I want to make 10 million naira next year. That is 10 million naira next year. And I want to have A in chemistry. Now, the first thing is that you have to open your mind. Allow your mind to build the perfect picture. See it. Okay. Imagine it. Swallow it. Dream it. Picture it. I used to call it a dream. I like it so much. You dream it. You have to see it. I have 10 million. All right. Or I have A in chemistry. Open your mind. Allow your mind to see it. Then the next thing you need to do is to list them. If there are plenty, list all of them. A chemistry, A this and that. Oh, I want to make 1 million. I want to have this. I want to have that. List all of them. Then I'm going to show you how you will do each of them. You have to list them out. Like I said, you can increase your chances of succeeding in the goal when you list them. If you don't list them, your chances of succeeding becomes thinner. So you have to list them. So when you now list them, you have to pick them one after the other. So when you pick one, this is what you do. But when you do this one, you can do for all of them, but pick one first and pass that one. Example, you have spiritual goal, you have financial goals. You know, financial goals sometimes can be 3. Spiritual goals sometimes might be 2 or something. You get, I don't know if you're understanding, but let's just try to understand. Now, let's say you are writing, I want to have A in chemistry. I want to have B in physics. I want to have A in maths. Leave the physics and maths. Just carry only chemistry first. Now, pass them through that structure and system I explained to you. First one is the SMART structure. Pass it through the SMART structure. We are trying to go back so that we see it. Is A in chemistry specific? Yes. But it might not be specific because A can start from 70. So what do you want to get? Is it 90A, 60A, 70A, 80A, 90A, 99A? So you pick an A, a type of A, because it has to be specific. Then you pass it into measurable. Again, how do I know I've achieved my goal? If I have 90A, of course I have achieved my goal, right? Is it achievable? Can my brain carry? You have to check your brain. This brain, this head what I get, can it have A in chemistry? I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I'm also I'm a teacher of faith. Oh. We are in workshop, but this one I'm laughing like say with the juice. All right, you know, there is a part that you will say half faith, half faith. That one is another story on another day. Today we are not talking about half faith. We are talking about growth. So you have to check your brain. My brain, can my brain have A in chemistry? If your brain cannot have A, you need to calm down first. I'll go and meet God. God, what's up now? What are we doing? You get. But then you might be having C. Yeah. Now let me be very positive. Now listen to me. Listen to me. Joke aside now. You might be having C in chemistry. The fact that you can have C is a fact that you can have A. The fact that you can have C is a fact that you can have A. Now, if you are having E, you shouldn't be targeting A. First target C. You get A can be your result goal. That before I leave this school, I will have A in chemistry. Or in third term, I will have A in chemistry. So don't go for A this time. This time, first target C. Of course, there is a goal. Okay, let me give you, this one is a real testimony. When I was in primary 3, like we changed school. There was one school we used to attend. The school was Trinity. In that school, I was very brilliant. In the school, I was very brilliant. I now changed school to another school. So I now carry my brilliancy to this school. I was writing, we wrote exam. I now got 21/24. Imagine brilliant boy from one school to another school. 21 over 24. This is real story. I was shocked and sad. I was shocked and sad. In fact, I was when the man there was one test they now gave us and I got zero. I think I've told some people in the teens church about this testimony. So when my teacher was now marking the script and I got 0/20 in that mass class work in that class and I got 0/20. So the man now look at me. He did not say anything. Okay, he did not say anything. So the next one, I now got 20/20. So I was now happy that I got 20/20. The man now opened the book. So the other one I got 0. He now look at it, now look at me like this. Omo, I don't know why that man was wicked like that. All the happiness now went down. Boom. I now cried, got home. I was not telling my mommy that I will get first in that school. I will get first. I was not crying that I will get first in that school. I will get first. Now, this is a why. My why might not be noble, but the why was to prove that teacher that I'm not a Olodo. I want to show the teacher that I can confess. Now, I said I will confess. I was in 21. The next term, I did not confess. I came 14. The third term, I still did not confess. I came 6th. So I moved from 21 to 14 to 6th. Eventually, I graduated from that school. I did not confess at all. Because primary 5, I now changed to another school. I graduated. I did not confess. I thought I would get first in the third term, but it moved me from 21 to 14 to 6th. Had it been I was still in that school, I would have eventually hit that first. Maybe it might be more difficult closer to it, but I will eventually hit it. So the next school I went to is where I now came first. The first semester in that school I came first. Now what am I saying is that if you are carrying 21/22, your goal should not be first. Of course, you can work for first, work as if you are going for first, but have it in mind that it is possible I will not get first, so that you will not be discouraged. So if you are getting 19/21, you now tried and got 18, or 18 is not good, I will not advise you to get it. You get 12, you have tried. You are not a failure. Keep working. So that is what I was talking about, the result and process goal you get. So have something. Don't just jump and because you know you now from E, you want to target A, you strong you get. But if God says so, no problem. I'm just talking my own. I did not say what God says. So if God told you that you can do it, of course, who am I to say you cannot do it? But what I'm saying is that past that one, achievable. I want to make 10 million naira in 2026. Is it achievable? My business, they are paying you 50,000 naira a month, and you want to make 10 million naira. How do you want to do it? Do you want to learn a new skills? How long will it take to learn the new skills? When you learn the new skills, will you get a job? How long will it take to get a job? You have to factor all those things so that you will not go and thief. You understand? So those are the things you will put. You cannot be an armed robber. You understand? Don't come and tell me that Broshewu told you you can be an armed robber. You get. So you have to check it. You have to pass. Is it relevant? Do I need a A? Of course you need a A. God says you should be the head and not the tail. Do I need 10 million? Of course you need 10 million. Your mother needs a new car. Eh? You need help. You need to flex life. You need to sow into the ministry. So you need money. So you have to check. Then time bound. Can I achieve it within this bound? You pass it through. You pass it through the structural interrogation also. And what? The what? You answer the question of the what. You answer the question of the why. Like that my own now. I had a strong why. If you don't like the why, but the why was very. I wanted to tell that teacher that, man, you laugh at me. I am not an Olodo. I wanted to prove a point. So that why was pushing me to. That was the first time I read in my life for exam. I don't used to read for exam before. I would just go and write the exam. That was the first time I started reading for exam. I read into the exam hall. Because there was a strong why. Then the how, your process, and then the when. So what I'm saying is that you pass it through the structural goal structure system. So you pass it through. So when you are first, like I said, you have a perfect future, have it. 2, list it out. When you list it out, we have like 15 minutes more. When you list it out, you pass it through the goal setting structure, your structure. When you pass into that structure, then the next thing is you organize your list. You organize your list. Organize your list. What do I mean by organize your list? Organize the list based on priority and sequence. This was what I was saying when I was introducing this class. You have to have a priority. Which of these goals is more important? Which of it is more important? Now, there's a in some of these schools now, if you want to have A, I'm talking about university now, you might do well, and one lecturer will now say, I will not give you A unless you come to my office and come and meet me personally, privately in my room. Now you have to prioritize. Is it my relationship with God I want, or I want A? That is what I'm talking about, organizing based on sequence. Sometimes that A might require you to spend some amount of money. Example now, I want to have an MSc. That is one. Two, I want to buy a car. Now you want to do your masters and you want to buy a car. And you know that is your goals now. Listen to what I'm saying. Oh, please pay attention. I don't want anybody to lose concentration. You want to do a masters and you want to buy a car. Now the masters is 800. Let's say the masters will cost you 1.2 million and the car you want to buy is 3 million. You now have 3 million naira. So now you have to pick, should I do masters or should I buy a car? That is when priority now matters. The year might not have ended. Which one should I do first? Should I buy the car first or should I go for masters first? So that is the priority I'm talking. I'm not telling you what to choose. I'm just telling you that you should choose your priority. So which one is wiser for you? You have to prioritize because there is something called scarcity. Of course, we are living in abundance, but it's something very factual in economy. There's what we call scales of preference. You have to have priority because the resources are always limited. So your time, now you are going to share your time between your relationship, your family, your wife, your children, your businesses. Now, when your businesses is requiring extra time, your children is requiring extra time, who do you give that extra time to? Now, this is the scale of preference. You have to have this priority from the beginning. From the beginning. So you have to have a priority. Remember, I started with your perfect future. Have the idea clear, list it clear, pick them one by one, pass them through the structure. Did they fail or they pass? If they fail, just discard that plan, discard that goal. It's not even a goal. If they pass those two structure, fine. The planning now starts. This is a goal setting roadmap. Please pay attention. The planning now starts. Now the planning is now organize them based on priority. Write them number one, number two, number three. I used to do that a lot. It's on my notes. Now the next thing you need to do after you have arranged them in priority, you know that sometimes I used to feel as if you're not understanding what I'm saying. So your perfect future, you imagine it. Next, you list them. Pa, 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 pa. Now you pass all of them through this structure. That means the smart structure and the structural interrogation. Now some will not pass, some will pass. Don't force anyone that did not pass to pass. Oh. Don't force it. Check why it's not passing and adjust to make sure it pass. If it does not pass, that structure cannot hold it. Anything that does not pass through the structure cannot hold it. And it's that structure that will help your goal to be achievable. So if your structure is denying some things, go and address those things first before you bring it back into the structure. So check. So make sure that they pass through the structure freely. You did not force it through the structure. So the ones that pass now are the ones you will now organize based on preference. Write all of them based on order of preference. You get. Then you now pick them one after the other. One after the other, this is what you will now do next. You will analyze the obstacles. What I mean by obstacles, what are the things that will make me not to get A? One, I used to sleep too much. I will not have time to read. Two, my mom used to send me message too much. She will not allow me to read. Three, all my friends are Olodo. They cannot teach me. Four, hey, you have to think through all the obstacles that can make you not to get that A in chemistry. Think through all of them. The same thing with the 1 million or the 10 million. What are the things that will not allow me to achieve the 10 million? Hey, I used to spend money too much. I'm not earning plenty money. Think through all those obstacles. So write down all the obstacles you will come across to achieving these goals. Then when you write the obstacles, you now start putting plans. As you each obstacle, write how you will overcome it. I used to sleep too much. I would make sure that I begin to sleep so time to so time. Now this plan you have to overcome that obstacle has become another goal that will join your goal. Example, I have friends that are Olodo, they cannot help me. So you now have another goal, which is that you have to discard those friends and make another friends. You see that another goal has added. My mommy used to send me message too much. She does not allow me to read. Now there is a goal. You have to beg your mommy, mom, see Joe. 1 hour, let me bring all the things you want me to do. Let me do all of them, finish. So you now have time. If I come from school by 4, between 4 and 5 is work. Is a goal now that you have to add. So those obstacles have to be overcome with another goals. This thing I'm telling you is mystery, but anybody that understands it, you have gotten something very huge. But I hope you pay attention. Now the next thing, no, before actionable step is resources. ignore that. You see that spiral, the way that road is coming. The road is coming. So there is resources first before actionable step. So you have to check all the resources you need. To make 1 million naira, you need another skill, you need another job, you need a contract, you need a business, you need a gig, you need a side hustle, different things you might need. You have to list everything you need. So to get the skills is another goal. To get the job side hustle is another goal. To get the partnership is another goal. So you see that you are having what I call process goal towards this result goals. Pay attention, don't worry. Now, actionable step. Write out all the actionable steps you will take to get the resources and challenge the obstacles. All the actionable steps. Now, when you write the actionable step for all these goals, you will now notice that some of them have the same actionable step. So you crash those ones into one. Some of the actionable step, like the thing I will do for this, is now a resources for, like example, what you will do to overcome the obstacle is a resources you need for the goal. Let me explain so that you understand. Now, you want to get A in chemistry. One of the things you need, one of the obstacles you will have is that you have friends that are not serious. They will distract you. Now, to overcome that obstacles, you need good friends. Now, under resources to achieve A in chemistry, you need good friends. So that good friends is now the same goal with the obstacle. So it is one. So it's not like you'll be having plenty things, but when you start, it will be big, but eventually it will crash into one. Another one, you need to sleep um, late because you used to sleep too much. So sleeping too much will not allow you to read for chemistry to get A is a problem. So it is now a resource. You have to add 2 more hours to your reading time between now and now. So that resource is fighting the obstacle. So it's not like you are having two things, but they are like comparing the devil and the deep blue sea, comparing the good and bad to find a balance. You get? I hope we are getting what I'm saying. So this is how this thing works. You have to get there. Then you set up an actionable plan. I will do this. I will do that. I will sleep this. I will do that. I will set 3 to 4 for work, house choice. I will set 4 to 5 for this. I will set so time for reading. I will set so time for this. Example now that chemistry. Between now and next week, I'm going to discard all my friends, all my old friends. I'm talking about actionable steps now. Between 15 and 17, this Chinedu is a very intelligent boy in our school. Bumi is also a very intelligent girl. I will make friends with them between so time. I'm talking about actionable steps now. Then you draw. Between this so time, I will be telling my teacher, I will be asking questions and all. So you are setting your steps. So those steps are now the action plan. Don't worry, you will ask question after this one. You will ask question. Then we'll do demonstration. You will ask question. Any part you don't understand, but please be taking note of what I'm saying. So you set the actionable step to how you get the resources, how you utilize the resources, and how to overcome the obstacles. Now, the next thing you need to do is that you put down your plan, or break down your plan rather. Is break down your plans. I want to put down. When you create your actionable steps, you can break them step by step. That is what I was still explaining there. It's almost the same thing. Put a time to it, put a calendar to it, put a period to it, and after that, you execute. Sometimes some people stop at actionable step and breaking down the goals. The major problem is execution. Me as a person, I have found out that the most difficult thing for me is execution. I am very intelligent in thinking, in planning, in coming up with ideas, in strategies. Those things are very easy. But when it comes to execution, it's not really laziness, but I am not an executing kind in a natural me. I am a leading kind of type. You get? So these are one of the things I fight. That particular part of execution, I fight it. I put all my effort to try to fight it. You get? So this is where you need to be very careful. This execution, you can plan, think, draw everything, and you will still fail at execution. You still fail at execution. Now, the major problem at execution is procrastination. That is one. Number two, laziness. Number three is fear of failure. The same thing we are discussing. So you have to make up your mind that I'm going to, and you try to reduce your goal. Make sure your goals are not much. Don't be setting goals like, see, if you want to achieve the whole world in 1 year. Be modest and be visionary. Not like you will think small, but think modest. Start one thing first before you go to the other one. Start with small. Don't do too big. Make sure your goal is not. That's why I say achievable is very important. Example, somebody who said, "Good, I will read through the Bible this year." It's a good goal, but is he, are you sure? Are you sure? With your schedule, with your, are you sure? Some people say I will read through the Bible in 6 months. Some people say I will make 100 million in the, oh God, you will kill yourself. You understand? So you have to set a plan that is easy to execute. Then you start executing them. Now, when, like I said, when you prioritize, start with the top ones and be going gradually, gradually. Another way of execution is that start with the hardest thing. Start with the hardest thing. Please take note of what I'm saying. It's not part of the notes. I'm just saying it as it's coming. Start with the hardest thing and stay consistent. Stay consistent. Now, let's ask a question before we go into this. If we have any question, if you have any question, I don't want us to exceed the 2 hours. I'm trying to be as fast as I can, but we cannot be too fast. What is the point of having a training? Please, let's ask question. I want us to ask a question at this point before I take us to where I want to take us to. Better ask question if you have question. Okay, no question. Now I want to do a practical step of what I've been teaching us. We'll do a practice, then we'll talk on, hopefully we can talk on the milestones. Then we would call it an evening. Then I'll give you assignment, of course. I'll give you assignment. Now, this is a business goal, right? This is a business goal. It says list of my business and financial goal. Now the person is writing it like I have achieved it already, right? I earned a total of $10,000 in 2025. Sorry, I earned a total of $10,000 in 2025. I have $1,000 in savings. I have 800 naira in emergency funds. I sent $100 per month to each of my parents. I have invested in long-term plans like real estate, cryptocurrency, foreign stocks. Some people might not understand this, but just take it the way it is. This is a goal now, a financial goal. So the first goal is that the person wants to earn is earned. That is the total money the person made in 2025 is. Now, let me adjust this. Sorry, give me a minute. Okay, so this is 2026. Now this goal, I made mistake there. This goal, the person is writing it, but he's writing it as if he has achieved it. This is a prophetic goal. You get, most of us that are faith-based will understand this better. It's a prophetic goal. You write it the way you have achieved it. It makes it looks real. Like I earned a total. That means the whole of 2026, the person earned $10,000, right? Now the person was able to save $1,000. The person have $800 in emergency. The person sent $100 per month to each of his parents. That must be like $120. 1,200 times 2, that's 2,400, but each. Okay, 2,400. I have invested in long-term plans, real estate, cryptocurrency, foreign stocks. Now let's look at this goal, right? Who can look at it? Who can tell me something about these goals? Interconnection. Which goal here is of priority? Which is the goal of highest priority among these goals? We can unmute now. We are having a workshop, so like I said, this is a demonstration session. Let's contribute and let's be fast so that we don't sleep here. Which of these goals is of highest priorities?
Number two, I think.
Number 2. Okay, who else has another opinion?
Number one.
Number 1. Okay, who else? Let me take 2 more.
Number 4.
Number 4. Okay, let me tell you why. What I mean, sometimes it's that priority that you guys did not get. The people that said number 1 actually got it. Now this is why number 1 is of priority. Look at now. The person said I earned a total of $10,000 in 2026. I have 1,000 in savings. I have an emergency fund of 800. If the person does not make this money, right? The person cannot have these savings. The person cannot have this emergency fund. The person cannot send this one to the parent. The person cannot invest in this side. So do we get what I'm saying, ba? We can, so if your environment is safe, I want us to, when I mean safe, there is no noise in your background. You can unmute. This is a practical section. I want us to engage so that the essence of this is to clarify everything we have been talking. Please just unmute and answer me as we are going. You get. So do we understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand, but I have a
So,
question.
yeah, ask a question.
So you said by the end of 2026, this person earned 10,000,
Yeah.
but it's by the end of the year they will know what they earned. So if they don't save, have a saving goal, they would, even if they don't get to 10,000, at least they will still have some savings in their account. That's why I said the savings is like the priority.
Okay.
But okay, I understand. Okay,
Yeah. No, you get what I
if you
explained.
get me, I think
Yeah, I
that.
understand where you thought
Yes,
from.
I get what you explained.
Yeah, I understand where you thought from. It's important to save, right? Yeah. But in terms of goal setting now, in terms of the goal setting thing, that number one is priority. So the person will put more effort. In short, your goal is primarily number one, to earn $10,000. That is the major goal. Because when you, let's say you earn that 10,000, you can easily save this. You can easily drop this for emergency. You can easily do this. But that is the, so the major work here is how you can earn more money. Because the more you earn, the easier you will do all those things. Now, for if I was having this goal, what I will just pick as my main goal will be number one. That is my focus. So as I'm solving the other problems, right? I'm solving the other problem. Now let's go to the next slide. We said list your goals, right? That is what we said about that goal map. Remember the goal map. We are trying to practice it though. Your perfect future, you have thought of it. Okay, if I can earn 10,000 naira in 2026, my life will be better. I can send about $1,200 to my mom in the year, send $1,200 to my dad, save 1,000 for my wedding ceremony, save $800 for emergency fund, and all those stuff. So you know that then you now list them down. This. That is the number two. Now we are talking about. So after you list them down, you pass them through the structure. The next thing is to pass them through that structure. Is it smart? Does it survive the smart structure? Is this something I can achieve? Is this something I can do? Then let's just assume that this goal pass through the smart structure. Sometimes when you pass it through the smart structure, this thing can drop from 10,000 to 5. You get what I'm saying? If you pass it through the structure, it can drop to 5, it can drop to 8, it can drop to 1, it can drop to 3. Now, two things is your faith, your belief in yourself, and your trust in the structure. You must not compromise the structure. So that structure will help you to be true. Because if you survive the structure, then you have a structure that will carry the goal. Let's say we pass it through the structure, and from the structure we find out that we can only make 8,000. This guy can only make 8,000. He cannot make. So this guy has to adjust the other goals to suit it. So this one now he might say, okay, let me save 900. You will now say, oh, emergency fund, 800 is too much. It's not like I have malaria or I have beriberi. Or you drop to 600. You can say, well, see, 100 too much for you now. Ah, ah, I don't get them. Let's do 70 for you people. You people will manage it. You get. So the person can decide to drop it like that, right? Because the structure has determined it. Now, what is the next step after that? The next step is to organize your list on priority. Organize your list, priority and sequence. Priority and sequence. You can see that this one is now arranged in sequence and priority. This might be in the sequence now. This parenthood might come up, right? These savings can come, then emergency, then investment and all. So you might arrange it in sequence. Now your sequence is your own preference, right? It's your own preference. But me, my sequence will be one, then maybe for now I no get wahala too much. One and two, four, or 1, 4, 2, 3. One. I don't know how to say. So my own will be 1, 4, 5, 2, 3. 1, 4, 5. 2, 3. That will be my own sequence, right? So you can arrange it on based on your own sequence. Now the next thing we'll do now is now to find out the obstacles. What are the obstacles that can come out? The obstacles. I'm coming. Let me write it. Possible obstacles. Obstacles to achieving. Pay attention because you guys are going to do this. Like I said, if you want to, if you don't want to, it's fine. Obstacles to achieving $8,000. You know it has dropped to 8,000 after passing our stuff. It's no longer 10,000. It's now 8,000. So, and I said that the major goal is not that number one. Others are complementary goals. So, obstacles number one, I need like 4 new gigs. 4 new, let me say web design gigs. Let's say you are charging web design gigs. I don't have portfolio. Upwork is messing up. Upwork does not give job again, right? My job salary is $50 per month, or let me say $100 per month. So you will check all the obstacles, I use my food, food price. I spend so amount in food. Different things you can write it. Feeding budget is high, right? So now inside these obstacles, you now write how to solve it. So you can say, okay, I will start applying for jobs on LinkedIn, etc. And you write list all of them. I'm just doing etc because we are doing example. List everywhere you find job. I will go to this. I will do that. Do that. Do that. I don't have a portfolio. I can do joint projects with people to get a portfolio I can use. Right? Pay attention to what I'm doing. Oh. Now, Upwork does not give gig. I will find other platforms I can register on. Okay? My salary is 100K. Okay. So this one I will maintain my job and use the other job and make time. Make time for side hustle. Feeding budget. Okay. I'll reduce my feeding budget. I will stop eating fish and meat. I'll stop eating fish and meat. I'll stop eating fish and meat and save the money. Don't, I'm just saying, no. Okay. Now, this is it. Now, from here, you can have your resources. So when you write the resources, what you need to achieve it. Why do I want to? Now, if you write, imagine we're talking about those why, all those ones. Those ones are part of it. Too. Why do I want it? Why do I want to achieve all those ones? You will do it normally. Normally, possible obstacles. Okay. Possible obstacles. You put I put the obstacle possible obstacle. Okay, the other one I changed was how to achieve it. I've how I want to achieve it. Sorry, that is where I changed for obstacles. So you put how I want to achieve it here. How I want to achieve it. Okay. Then you do why do I want to achieve this? You get remember that how, why, all those things I'm saying. Then resources I will need, skill, people, money, all those stuff. You write it out. Then the plan, milestone, divide it into January. I want to be earning, I want to earn 500. Your salary currently is 100 back. So I want to earn 200 or 300 in January. 300 in January. February, I want to earn 1,000. March, I want to earn 800. April. Now all these things you don't just put it based on random. You think about it. Okay, if I'm sending LinkedIn messages before March and April, you can also decide to do it January to April, January to March rather. Let's do January to March. I will earn $2,000. April to June. To June, I will earn maybe another $2,000. Now, when you write it like that, you now write the. Remember, you are writing the milestones. You are writing how you will get it. You get two jobs, two this, do this. I'm using this for example. Now, if we are using the chemistry A, for example, now it will be you want to get A in chemistry by August. I mean, when is the exam? July exam. So you start. I will read one chapter. Maybe the course is like 5 chapter. I'll read one chapter in January and understand it very well. I'll finish it in January and understand it. I'll finish the next chapter, second chapter in February and understand it. In March, I'll finish the third chapter and understand it. In April, I'll finish the fourth chapter and understand it. In May, I'll finish the fifth chapter and understand it. Then June, I will revise 1 and 2 and 3. July, I will revise 4 and 5. Do you get what I'm trying to say, Ba? So those are the milestones, actionable steps you get. Anyone you don't understand, I will ask this person. All those kind of things. So when you set up the milestones like that, you are closer to achieving the goals because they are now divided into smaller bits. Into smaller bits. Now, this is the assignment I want us to do based on this, and you're going to ask question now so that, but the group will be open, Sha, for the question. I'm going to run on through the system for us in the next 10 minutes or so. I'm going to run through the system, but let me give us the assignment first because I don't want us to stay more than 2 hours. I'm already getting tired. So, the assignment you are going to do, you are going to write down your spiritual goals. Okay. The maybe your spiritual goal is to move closer to God, for example. That is not a goal in terms of passing through that structure we are discussing. So you can say, okay, to move close to God, I'll pray 30 minutes every day for 2026. I would read uh, one Bible chapter every day for 2026. Now that is a spiritual goal. I will listen to one sermon every week in 2026. Okay, let's do another example. Please pay attention. Let's say this is a spiritual goal now, right? So I would, because your goal is to become more spiritual, you can say I will pray 30 minutes a day. I'll read my Bible and one chapter a day, one chapter a day, uh, one sermon a week, one sermon a week, retreat monthly, one day retreat monthly, one day retreat monthly, fasting every Wednesday, attend all church services. What else? Okay, remove Obinaz, my friend. He's a bad boy. He's making me sing. Now I'm giving you an idea now, right? So this is your spiritual goal. Why I'm saying this is that you are going to do this so as the assignment. So this is an example. This is how you will do it for both your spiritual goal, your health goal. Health goal can be I will stop eating bread. I will register with a fitness club. I will not be drinking coke. I would be, if I feel sick, I will take treatment immediately. I will stop eating late in the night. Go and check your health. What does it make to live long? What is your problem? What's your health challenges? Are you fat? You want to? When I mean fat, fat is not. I'm not saying fat is bad, but there are some fats that are not healthy. I don't care what people want to say. I'm not saying fat is bad. Listen to me, oh, but there are some fat that are not healthy. There's some thin also that is not healthy. You can be too thin and it's not good. You have to eat well. So you have to check your health goal, all those things, and work on it. I will do this. I will do that. I will do that. The same thing with your career goal. You can say, okay, your goal is to come first in your class. So I'll be reading my book 3 times a day. I'll be doing this. I'll be doing that. So these are the way you will list it. Like I said, list it as many as you can. Then you will now check the thing. You say that we pray 30 minutes daily. You have to put a time to it. How do I achieve it? That is the how now. You will look for the time that is best. Maybe 10 p.m. to 10:30. So you can put the Bible reading maybe before the prayer. You can say 9:15. Sorry, 9:45 to 10 o'clock. I'm showing you how to do these things. So we are talking about the how daily. One sermon weekly, a week. So you have to find the time that you are free. Maybe Saturday. You can put okay Saturday or Sunday. Right? Saturdays. Let me do this so that you use it to differentiate it. And we are talking about the how now, so that you have it. If you just put it, I will do, it's not a go yet though. So every Saturday. So one retreat monthly, first of the month. I'm giving you idea now. First day of the month. Fasting every Wednesday. That one is there. Attend all church service. So what is the problem of not attending church service? You have to check your calendar, check your schedule and manage it. Remove Obina. I will send him a text and block him. I will send him WhatsApp message today and block him. Bam. You get that. So these has carried your goals, your how, and all. Some of them can be more complex than this, but this is one of the simplest ones you can have. So this thing now, if you do it every day for 2026, at the end of 2026, your relationship with God will become strong. So you have achieved your spiritual goal by following this process goal. Right? I hope we get it now. Do we understand, or should we do one more example? Is it clear? I want to get our response. Do we get it? Everybody else will answer. Time is going. It's clear?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So this is how we will do it for all our areas of life. We'll set the goals like this. So when you set the goals, you put the time for all this stuff. You set it for your spiritual, set it for your mental and personal goal. What do I mean by mental and personal goal? Intellectual goals, book reading, trainings, all those stuff. Hygiene, all those skinny, personal and mental. So you have to intelligence. Then education and career goes around your education. You set goals. You set goals around your finances. You set goals around your health. You set goals around your relationship. So we are going to do that. So this is where I think we will stop the training. Like I mentioned, I sent it on the group. We'll have the second session on. I was thinking we'll be able to go very far with these goal setting systems you need to put in place. But we'll do discuss that. Of course, not everyone. I'm sure not everybody. I wish everybody, but I'm sure it's not everybody. So we'll stop here. We are continuing. I will announce the next day. The next day should be Friday, but I will confirm and get back to us. Now, this is what I want us to do. You will go now, right? When you go now, you are going to set these goals for those areas of your life. Set it for your spiritual and all. So the next training I will post it on the group is going to be on Friday. Hopefully, it's going to be on Friday, but we'll confirm with that. Now set the goals. Those of you that want me to review the goals with you, I would give you a link where you would send it when you are done with it. Now you have to finish it for me to review it with you. Now let's do it like this. Just pick only one area and set for that area first. Maybe it's your academics, your spiritual, or between now and Friday. Set for one area of your life. Set for whether your spiritual goal, your career goal, your health goal, or set for one area. You know, I'm giving you grace like this. Just pick one area and do for that area. We'll meet on Friday, and those of us that have done it in that area are those that will be continuing with the training. You get, so I don't try to do for all of them, but I just want to see how serious you are. Pick one area, start something, do it for that area. I will review it and correct it Now, another reason why I want you to do for that area is that once I'm able to correct that area, it will be easy for you to replicate that corrections in other areas. So do for one area, and I will check it, I will review it, and we'll correct it together. Right? And when I mean together, I mean I will correct it for you, give you tip. I might discuss it at random in the meeting on Friday. Then on Friday we'll end by discussing the systems. We just finished the structures and all, so we'll be discussing the system. The system is the process, how you manage the goal throughout the year. So that's what we'll be discussing on Friday. Then after that, we'll have our one-on-one session for those that complete it. Okay, Moji, your question.
My question is, what time? Sorry, if I'm loud. What time on Friday are we meeting to
I'm looking at the same
review?
time. Is the same time okay with
Yeah.
you? When it comes to the
I would
okay.
check. I don't think so because uh, I have classes back to back. My classes end by 10 p.m. that day, and I have. Oh God, I'll text you.
Okay, just message me. I'll see what I can do. You get. I really appreciate your effort despite the time difference and the time zone difference and all. You still were able to make it. It's commendable. Okay, and it shows the passion. You get.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, so that is it for our training today. Like I said, pick an area that you want to work on, just one, maybe spiritual, financial, career, anyone that you think might be easy to work on, or you just want to pick that one, work on it the way I explained it. Develop your goal in that area for this between now and Friday next week, this week rather, Friday this week, and do it. And I'll send you where you will send it to me, so I will check it and review. The essence is one, I want to see how well you understand what I just explained, so that I can correct and help you do it better. Secondly, I want to see those that are actually serious, not just the hearers alone, but also the doers. So I want to see those that are actually very serious with it, so that those are the ones I know I will focus on as we proceed. It's actually tiring to be teaching plenty people and eventually the result are not forthcoming. Because after this stage on Friday, what we'll do is that we will give you time, 2 weeks, to set goals for the other areas, all the other areas, and then I will help you review it. If you want one on one, we'll have a one on one call and we'll discuss it where we can adjust and some other stuff. So that is the sacrifice I'm actually putting my head into in this January, and God will give me grace in Jesus' name. So that is it for our training today. Again, lastly, I want to appreciate all of us for coming, for staying through and seeing the need for such a training. I'm sure it was worth your while. I'm sure you learned a lot, and I'm sure you are going to have a greater 2026 so far. So please, I'm begging you, please, 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 please do the assignment and send it over. I really wish everybody would work on it so that we can have bigger results this year. All right, thanks for everybody that shared, advertised, publicized, because they were the reasons why some of us joined. I really appreciate everybody. So, thank you again, and it's a good night now and good afternoon wherever you are, depending on your location. So, have a nice day, everybody, and see you on Friday.
All right, good night, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Good night, sir.
Good night.